What is going on, everybody? We might have finally revealed the final aces for the cast of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, and in my personal take, I really hope these are not the exact final ones. I'm really hoping we're going to get some in the newest set. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Galactica Strike, where it's going to have cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush and the final cards of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. But let's just get right into the new ace cards. And here we have Master of 7's Road. This is a level 9 Dark Spellcaster type fusion monster, effect of course, with 3000 attack and 2100 defense. Its materials are something else, people. 7's Road Magician, which would be obvious by the way it looks, and 7's Road Witch. This is the first time we've seen a fusion monster containing more than one monster that actually requires tribute. This is pretty insane, people, but it's very, very easy to pull off. You might be thinking, well, that's going to consume more than a 5-card hand. That's 2 tributes for 7's Road Magician, so that's already 3 cards. Then you need 7's Road Witch, her tribute, and then fusion. I was about to say polymerization. It's called fusion, people. That's 6 cards. Not going to work unless you set maybe fusion of turn, prior, or do any other weird stuff a turn prior so that you can construct the field that you need. But that is not true because of 7 Road Witch's effect. Really, you're just tributing for her, so that's 2 cards. Her tribute fodder, herself, her discard, a card to discard for her effect, to bring out 7's Road Magician, that's 4 cards, and then fusion. So you can literally just do this in a full 5-card hand. You can start off the turn and literally go into this card, even though this card does require 2 monsters that require tribute. Absolutely insane how this card can actually work. Like, I can literally see Yuga pulling this off, like at the last ditch effort, pulling a 5-card hand and doing this. But let's get on to the effect. The requirement, and it has 0 requirements, and it has a continuous effect, people. This card gains 300 attack times the number of Dark Spellcaster type monsters with different names in your graveyard. So that could be a pretty hefty amount. At the moment, we have 6 7's Road monsters, Dark Magician, Dark Sorcerer. You can really climb really high with this card. Also, if there are 7 or more monsters, Dark Spellcaster in your graveyard, this card's attacks inflict piercing. So this card is going to be a monster of an attacker, people. This thing is probably going to have like 5100 even on your opponent's turn with piercing, and mind you, it could even be higher than that. I think I'm just counting for 7. Let me see if I'm doing my math right. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Yep, that's a 5100 attack point monster with piercing. That's even 51 on your opponent's turn. That's insane. Another weird thing to see about this card is that it's actually a spellcaster type monster. It's not some new type of monster that's comprised of a spellcaster and a spellcaster, so that's actually pretty odd. I was hoping we'll get like a higher level of spellcaster with this, but this is all cool. Next, people, we have Fantasia Strike Dragon Mirage Star F. So kind of figured this was gonna happen just by looking at the cover. It looked like that Fantasia Strike Dragon. Knew this was gonna happen. So the materials are Illusion Strike Dragon, Miragias, and the Dragon. It's a level 9 Dark High Dragon type fusion effect monster with 3000 attack, 2000 defense. Requirements is you can activate this by sending the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Choice effect. Choose up to 3 face-up monsters your opponent controls. They lose 1500 attack until the end of the turn. During this turn, this card can make attacks on monsters twice. Absolutely insane, because you're pretty much going to be able to get over all your opponent's monsters just with that effect. Remember, even the material monster Miragias can actually decrease the attack of monsters by 1500 as well. So you can actually use this effect, then fuse into it, and your opponent would have, even if they have a full field, they're going to have at least 2 monsters with most likely 0 attack points, because you're going to be decreasing by 3000 and 1 decreased by 1500. So you're going to be inflicting major damage, and you can attack twice, but remember, only on monsters. So it's not like Dragon Star F where he can actually attack directly. They kept the same thing where this can only still attack on monsters. But remember, there's another effect. And this other effect is, during this turn, this card can attack directly. Your opponent has 3000 or less life points, just go in for the attack. Just an easy way to flip 3000 damage to your opponent. It's absolutely insane. And you can do it every turn. It's not just a turn this fusion summon. You can just go in for a direct attack anytime you want. Ridiculous. Let's go to the next card, and that's going to be Semitarasu the Celestial Summoner. Level 9 Light Celestial Warrior type fusion effect monster with 3000 attack and 3000 defense. Materials are Semiru the Dark Summoner and Valkyrian Sukari. Requirements are none. Choose 1 monster level 8 or lower warrior type monster or fairy type monster in your graveyard and special summon it to your field face up. Already stupid, because you're going to just summon out Yami Ruler, use this effect, and block your opponent from the tribute summons. Absolutely that's absolutely insane that he could just bring out one of the rulers just like that. or I should say summoners now, I believe that's their new translated names. And then it has another effect. Choose monsters in your opponent's graveyard up to a number of monsters 0 attacking your graveyard and shuffle them into the deck. So of course you can stop your opponent from doing some graveyard recursion, because if you're using a Gakuto deck, you're most likely gonna have a whole bunch of 0 attack monsters in your graveyard anyway. That's pretty much the way the deck operates. Pretty amazing card, to be honest. The fact that it could just, you summon this and then you get a big monster out from it. Next we have Endless Romance Blitz, Fire Omega Psycho type fusion monster. Effect monster, of course, attack 28, defense 25. Again, so she's the only one so far that doesn't have a 3K monster, but hopefully that will change down the line when after I read over this card, because there's a real wish list I have for the next set. All right, so let's see. Materials is Full Bliss and Infinite Dream, cool, and Romance Pick, which I guess is the translated name for Romance Pick. Romance Pick is one of the most important cards in the whole Psychic deck, so great. One of the materials is a card you're always using and most likely using 3 of. Requirement: you can activate this effect by, well, choosing both the fusion material monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them to the deck. Choice effect: inflict 1500 damage to your opponent. Pretty nice, because remember, Full Blitz has the ability to already inflict 1500 damage with its original effect. So by doing this, you're inflicting 3000. But of course, you're shuffling the materials back into the deck, so you're only likely going to be able to do this once. And I know most monsters in Rush Duel don't have a, you know, an extended stay past your opponent's turn. Most of them get destroyed at least by your opponent's turn, so you usually only get to do effects once. But yeah, this is, even if it survives, you're really only likely doing the effect once, period, unless you get Romance Pick to mill out, you know, Full Bliss and tribute Romance Pick for something else. Next effect is essentially Graceful Charity. Draw 3 cards, choose two cards from your hand, and discard into the graveyard. Overall, not a bad card at all, but yeah, I can see why it has a super rare slot. And the thing that's disappointing to me, really disappointing, aside from that fact that it doesn't have 3000 attack points, is where is Gitarna's fusion? Yuga, Luke, Gakuto, their first ace monsters all got fusions. Where is Romin's fusion for her original ace monster? This is what I'm hoping for. Next set, Primo Guitar gets herself a fusion, 3000 attack points, ultra rare, close out the series by giving her her monster, because I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Of all the OG aces, she still doesn't have a fusion. Everybody else has a fusion. And granted, they can put even more cards in the next set, because there's still another Dark Ruler, or I should say Summoner, that doesn't have their fusion, so give him his fusion as well. I would say give Metagios a fusion, but if you guys seen the new Arc 5 manga, Metagios actually has a fusion in there, so I'm not sure where they would go. I would maybe say Palm-Sized Drago, because it's one of those normal monsters that has a lore that states that it might have a stronger, you know, hidden power, the same way Descendant of Titans and Stray Familiar did, but they both got fusion, so hopefully maybe that will be Luke's new fusion in next set, maybe like as a super rare or something. And for Yuga, hopefully Seven's Road Witch will have an easier summon, you know, like an easier fusion summon, not just with Seven's Road Magician, have her own, maybe with the Rose Star Swordsman, and she can be a, you know, magical knight monster just like Seven's Road Magician, like maybe Seven's Valkyrie, the magical witch, or something like that. It'll be pretty awesome. I think they should do that for the next set. That's kind of like my wish list. But yeah, all looking good. None of these are terrible. The worst one to me is Romance Blitz, and only because its effect is pretty much just a one-shot cannon. And even with that 3000 damage, which is amazing, and your opponent can't really stop it because it's effect damage, you know, the new dragon, High Dragon, he can hit directly every turn for 3000. Again, like I said, it's an attack, so he's subjectable to battle traps. So like Romance Blitz is going to be a lot better, inflicting 3000 damage with that regard. But you know, I'm just so salty about the Primo Guitar. Please give us Primo Guitar, people. Please give us Primo Guitar. Give her her fusion already, people. I swear. I mean, I love Esperade too, but please let it be Primo Guitar next set. Okay, people, that's it for me. That was possibly the final ace cards for sevens, which, like, again, I don't think so, because we still have another pack, and it's gonna be some sevens cards, some Go Rush cards, and trust me, I don't think these are gonna be finishing it off, people. So until next time, people, like if you love the video, subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and that's pretty much it. Peace out. Have a great day, guys, and I hope you guys are looking forward to these cards.